Hello, citizens of YouTube land.
Hey.
It's your president and your VP back once again with a very special episode.
Yeah.
I don't really know if this is an I Love This Movie yet or not. I did love the movie, but I don't know if it's going to go in that playlist in season 2 or not. But here it is for you guys. And as always, if you want to become a citizen of YouTube land, all you have to do is hit that subscription button below. So, with that out of the way, today's episode is going to revolve around a random movie that we found last night. In fact, maybe it'll be the start of a new series called Random Movies and TV Shows We Just Found.
Yeah.
So,
random crap, interesting stuff we just found, or something like that.
Yeah, by scrolling through your Roku, which in case that's what we have, or your Amazon TV, or you know how it goes, guys, where your channel's surfing around and just, oh, this is something, and click on it. That's kind of what happened here. This movie is called Body at Brighton Rock. It came out in 2019, and you can find it on Hulu. So if you have Hulu, check it out.
Or Amazon, because Hulu, when Hulu releases a movie, Amazon also does the same thing. So you can probably find it on Amazon as well.
Right. So this movie is about a young Forest Park employee. She's not really a ranger. She's just like a park guy who goes around and basically cleans up like dog poop and puts signs up on trees and stuff.
And she tells the kids, hey, don't start forest fires.
Yeah.
As she described it when she was... we'll get to that later.
At the very beginning, she's basically been giving the rundown, the lowdown on what she's supposed to do that day. It's at the end of the park season, so frostbite is a big concern too. So we're probably talking about a time period of September to October, which plays a big factor into this movie's plot as it moves along.
Yeah.
Because, as it turns out, she switches packs with another park guide, a more complicated travel path for her, because she's a novice, guys. She don't have real familiarity of this park, and this park, from the size of it, looks to be quite huge.
Yeah, possibly around the size of Yellowstone, maybe. Just from the glances of it, looks like it's around the size of Yellowstone.
Maybe, or a comparable size here in the area where we live.
Mark Twain National Forest.
Exactly, because we live in the Mark Twain National Forest region here in Missouri.
Which Mark Twain National Forest is actually pretty huge if you really think about it.
Kind of bits of pockets here and there of it.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point. We're getting off track as we often do here.
Sorry about that.
So she switches.
Why is there a huge glare on our faces, Dad?
It's probably because of the snowfall outside.
Probably.
It's all white outside, guys. Where we live, it's snowing something fierce. We're expecting another 4 or 5 inches today.
Yeah.
On top of the 2 that we got yesterday, so it's like we're going to probably not be going anywhere for a while. But anyways, she switches packs and she gets started on her tour of the park. And she comes across a dead body, which is very important.
Yeah.
She radios back to the station and says, hey, I found a dead body out here. And they're like, you got to stay out here all night. And she's like, I'm not a ranger. I just, tell kids not to start forest fires and point them on hiking trails and stuff.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're the only one out there, and you're going to have to stay out there, and it's getting dark, which plays into this movie, too.
They said it was 1,600 hours, which, if you convert that into our normal time for military time, that would be 4 o'clock.
p.m. So, a couple hours from nightfall, because, again, it's late September, early October, so it's that time when the season changes and the sun starts to set a little quicker. So she's out in the middle of nowhere, in the dark, with a dead body.
Yeah.
She had come across another guy who was observing the dead body, and he finds the phone and he explains that he has a phone just like it, and that she should be careful because there's a lot of predators.
Yeah, this foreshadows later in the plot. We're not going to spoil it yet, but it's a foreshadowing event later. So
yeah,
keep that in mind and pay attention.
And he's acting all kind of creepy and weird. And at first, we thought maybe he might be the killer of the dead body, because it was kind of leading that way in a way.
Yeah.
And so...
By the way, remember, we had never seen this movie before, so we were going into this from what we saw from the trailer alone.
Yeah. She falls asleep and wakes up, and it seems like the dead body has risen up, and it's kind of a cool shot when they do it. By the way, this is directed by a female, so it's kind of a rarity because female directors don't really get the credit they deserve for horror films, and that's a real shame. Yeah. But there's not a lot of female horror directors out there, and in my opinion, there should be. Yeah. And this is a psychological horror film, along with like a backwoods wilderness horror type film as well.
And another type of horror, but we'll get into that when we cover the ending.
Yeah. So she gets away, and then there's like another scene where the dead body rises up again, because the first time she realizes it was all a dream, and the second time it's in her head.
Yeah. But the
she
way
uses bear spray on the zombie.
But the way they shot this though, when like he rises up in the background, it's so cool. Just like very good and very just.
She rises up in the.
It has a lot of cool wilderness shots too. I would like to pause the plot here for a little bit to just like talk about the cinematography of this, because. There's like in the nighttime shot when she goes to sleep, it pans out from where she is in this location and does like this sweeping wide shot to really show how in the middle of nowhere she actually is.
Yeah, it is quite the shot and quite the beautiful shot. Yeah. And there's lots of unbroken shots in this film too. Yeah. So if you guys are fans of that, you're really going to dig it and how it sets up the tension. And so getting back to it though, she the second time the body rises up and it seems to attack her, so she takes her bear spray out and sprays it, but she ends up getting it all in her eyes because it was all in her head, and she has to rinse it out.
Remember, she was hearing bear noises in the first place.
Yeah,
because before all this happened, you know, she hears like bear noises in the background, and it turns out it was like this 7-foot giant tall grizzly bear. Yeah. That is very territorial at this time of the year. This bear is, as we find out later. But anyways, we'll get.
She basically does like some assassin creeding up a cliff, which is really cool too. You know, some parkour stuff.
But she winds up falling.
But that may have led to her delusions too, the concussion. Yeah. That was earlier too, by the way.
Yeah.
And then the next day, she's trying to get away and stuff, and the same guy comes up and she kicks him off and stuff, and he's trying to prevent her from going up the hill because there's a bear cave up there. And this whole incident takes place about a half a mile or so from an actual bear cave. And so the next morning, the forest rangers find her, and
she's fighting off a bear.
She's fighting off a bear. Yeah. And this is like a 110-pound soaking wet girl. Okay, guys? But she manages to do it.
1,500-pound, 7-foot-tall grizzly bear.
She basically
hungry.
She basically kicks its face in and sprays it in the face. And right as she runs out, the other forest rangers find her, and they shoo away the bear. And then they discover who the dead body is. And here's the twist, guys.
Yeah.
The dead body was, in fact, the man that was trying to help her and then possibly attack her later.
Yeah.
He was a ghost.
He was a ghost
the whole time. And it got me because I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, it did. We didn't perceive this as a ghost film. We perceived it as the plot was very simple but yet original. A girl finds a dead body in the woods and she has to protect it, in the middle of the night from a bear and possibly a killer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we thought, but it wasn't that at all. It was survive a bear attack while confronting a ghost.
Yeah. And also, it turns out that the guy died from the same bear that was trying to eat her and attack her.
Yeah, so she's very lucky because...
Once a bear tastes human flesh, they want more.
It's a well-known fact that once a bear tastes human blood, they no longer have fear of humans. So anyways, guys, this was a pretty good psychological horror film. That's also what it is because it had played on all those things. Tremendous nature shots, tremendous tension, good score, good soundtrack, great directing too by the lady who directed this film. Shout out to her. You did a phenomenal job. If you ever watch this,
yeah,
you did a phenomenal job, lady, and you deserve all the credit in the world.
And if I remember correctly, this film was like produced by a kind of pretty well known production company called Magnet.
Yeah. And they had made, I should point out that they made comparisons of the girl to this one douchebag named Davey, who is completely incompetent at his job. And I thought that was kind of the way it was going to go too, because he kind of shows up and acts a little creepy. And I was saddened that he actually didn't get eaten by the bear. But that's neither here nor there, I guess. So, final rating, 4 out of 5. What say you?
Yeah, 4 out of 5 as well. It was really good, really well shot. Again, a lot of long, unbroken shots that, like, especially that part where they, like, pan out to show how in the middle of nowhere she actually is.
I knock it down a little bit because of the Davy character, and maybe they could have set up the tension just a little bit more. But other than that, it's a really good film, guys. Check it out on Hulu if you haven't. And of course, if you have seen the movie, if you have, and you think it's the worst thing that you've ever seen, well, you're wrong. But just remember that we're just two idiots with a cell phone camera. Our opinions do not matter, except they actually do, except they actually don't. So, having said that...
something pretty fierce out there, Dad. You see that?
I do see that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like almost whiteout conditions here.
Yeah.
So...
Sorry about that, guys. We get distracted. We're like dogs.
Yeah.
We're like, what?
Sometimes. What was that? Anyway, anyways, having said all that, guys, there's just one thing to say, and that's to conclude the video. So, peace and love from Denny and Son, and we'll see you guys next time. Where the next episode will be out later today after we watch it. Walker, episode 4, the final episode of Walker, Texas Ranger Wary. And probably tomorrow we're going to get out Night of the Twisters for you guys.
I would like to thank you guys very much for making the Walker, Texas Ranger Wary month just kind of a mild success, because like
to us it is a success.
To us it was a success because
we had people watching and it was really cool. So we love everything about it, guys.
I've been going through our old videos of this past month. And the most watched video is our unboxing of the Walker Texas Ranger Complete Collection that we have, and it has like 29 views right now, and I'm thinking to myself, holy crap!
Well, we're just amazed by any little success that we have because we're such a small YouTube channel, but. You know, as we said last time, we appreciate and love each and every one of you guys, and you make this all possible for us. And so we are truly grateful and blessed to have you guys as citizens of YouTube land. So, because you can be an indirect citizen of YouTube land, even if you're not a subscriber, if you're a viewer. So we appreciate that too. Yeah. A green card citizen YouTube land, if you will. So,
thank you for immigrating to YouTube land and watching our videos.
Yes, thank you. So, having said that, guys, we'll see you guys next time, okay? Bye.
Bye.